Hi there, welcome back to American Lingo Academy. I'm Fiona, and today we're going to learn another set of really useful phrasal verbs that native English speakers use all the time in everyday conversation. These are verbs that you'll hear in movies, TV shows, at work, and when you're chatting with friends. So get comfortable, grab a cup of coffee or tea, and let's dive right in. I'm going to explain each one very clearly and give you two examples so you can really understand how to use them. Are you ready? Let's get started. Number 1, fight back. This phrasal verb means to defend yourself when someone or something is attacking you or trying to hurt you. It can be a physical fight, but we also use it when we're talking about defending ourselves in other ways, like when someone is being mean to us or when we're dealing with a difficult situation. When you fight back, you're not just accepting the bad treatment. You're standing up for yourself and trying to stop it. For example, imagine you're at work and a coworker keeps taking credit for your ideas in meetings. At first, you stay quiet because you don't want to cause problems, but after it happens 3 or 4 times, you decide you need to fight back. So the next time it happens, you speak up during the meeting and say, "Actually, that was my idea from last week's report." You're not being rude, but you're defending yourself and making sure everyone knows the truth. Fighting back doesn't always mean being aggressive. Sometimes, it just means being brave enough to stand up for what's right. Here's another one. Let's say your little sister is sick with a bad cold. She's been feeling terrible for days with a fever and a cough. But today, she's starting to feel a little better. She's drinking lots of water, taking her medicine, and resting. You can say, "I'm so glad to see you fighting back against that cold. You're going to be healthy again soon." In this case, fight back means her body is working hard to defeat the illness. She's not giving up, and she's doing everything she can to get better. We use this phrasal verb a lot when we talk about battling sickness or difficult challenges in life. Number 2, fight it out. This means to argue or compete with someone until you reach a final decision or until one person wins. When 2 people fight it out, they're not going to stop until the problem is solved or until they figure out who's right. We use this when people have a disagreement and they need to talk about it, sometimes in a heated way, until they come to an agreement. It can also be used in sports or competitions. For example, you and your husband are trying to decide where to go on vacation this summer. You really want to go to the beach because you love swimming and relaxing by the ocean. But your husband wants to go to the mountains because he loves hiking and cool weather. You've been discussing this for weeks and neither of you wants to change your mind. Finally, your friend says to both of you, you two need to just fight it out and make a decision. Your vacation is in 1 month. This means you need to have a serious conversation, share your feelings, and work through the disagreement until you both agree on one place. Fighting it out doesn't necessarily mean yelling. It just means having that difficult conversation until you reach a conclusion. Here's another one. Imagine there's a tennis tournament and 2 players are in the final match. They're both incredibly talented and they've been playing for almost 3 hours. The score is very close and neither player is giving up. The sports commentator says, "These 2 athletes are really fighting it out on the court today. This is one of the most exciting matches of the season." In this situation, fight it out means they're competing with all their energy and skill until one person finally wins. It's a battle, but it's a fair competition where both sides are giving their best effort. Number 3, fight off. This phrasal verb means to resist or defend yourself against something that's trying to attack you or affect you. We use this a lot when we talk about illness, like fighting off a cold or the flu. It can also mean physically pushing someone away who's trying to hurt you. The key idea is that something bad is coming toward you, and you're working hard to keep it away or to make it go away. For example, you wake up one morning and your throat feels a little scratchy. You also have a slight headache. You know these are the first signs that you might be getting sick. But you don't want to get sick because you have an important presentation at work next week. So you start drinking lots of water, eating healthy foods with vitamins, getting extra sleep, and maybe taking some vitamin C a few days later, you feel completely fine. You successfully fought off that cold before it got worse. Your body was strong enough to stop the illness from developing. This is a very common way we use fight off in everyday English. Here's another one. Let's say you're walking home late at night and someone tries to steal your bag. They grab it and try to run away, but you hold on tight and push them away. You scream for help, and the person gets scared and runs off without your bag. Later, you tell your friend what happened and you say, "I had to fight off someone who tried to rob me last night. It was really scary, but I didn't let them take my things." In this case, fight off means you physically defended yourself and stopped the attacker from succeeding. You protected yourself from danger. Number 4, ferret out. This is a really interesting phrasal verb. It means to search for something or to discover information that's hidden or difficult to find. When you ferret something out, you're being like a detective. You're looking very carefully, asking questions, and trying to uncover the truth or find something that's not easy to see. We use this when talking about finding hidden information, secrets, or things that people don't want you to know. For example, your teenage son has been acting strange lately. He's been very quiet, spending a lot of time in his room, and he seems worried about something. You're concerned, so you start paying closer attention. You ask him gentle questions, you talk to his teachers, and you check in with his friends' parents. After a few weeks, you finally ferret out the truth. He's been worried because he's struggling in his math class and he was afraid to tell you. Once you discover this, you can help him get a tutor and support him. Ferreting out information means you kept searching patiently until you found out what was really going on. Here's another one. Imagine you work in the accounting department of a company and the numbers in the budget don't add up correctly. Something is wrong, but you're not sure what. You spend hours going through all the files, checking every transaction, and comparing reports from different months. Finally, after days of careful investigation, you ferret out the problem. Someone made a mistake entering data 3 months ago, and that error has been affecting all the reports since then. You found the hidden mistake by being thorough and persistent. That's what ferret out means, finding something that was very difficult to discover. Number 5, fess up. This phrasal verb is informal and friendly. It means to admit that you did something wrong or to confess the truth about something. When you fess up, you're being honest and taking responsibility for your actions. We often use this with children, but adults use it too. It's like saying, "Okay, I'll tell the truth," or "Yes, I did it." It's very casual and conversational. For example, your kids are playing in the living room and suddenly you hear a loud crash. You run into the room and see that your favorite lamp is broken on the floor. Both of your children are standing there looking guilty. You ask, "Who broke the lamp?" At first, they both stay quiet and look at each other. Then you say, "Come on, somebody needs to fess up. I'm not going to be angry if you tell the truth, but I need to know what happened." Finally, your younger daughter says, "It was me, Mom, I'm sorry. I was throwing my ball and I accidentally hit the lamp." She fessed up. She admitted what she did even though she was scared of getting in trouble. This is exactly how we use this phrasal verb in everyday American English. Here's another one. Let's say you're at work and someone ate the last piece of birthday cake that was being saved for your boss. Everyone in the office is wondering who did it. During a team meeting, your manager says with a smile, "Okay, whoever ate that cake, please fess up. We won't be mad, we just want to know." After a moment of silence, your coworker raises his hand and says, "It was me. I'm really sorry. I didn't realize it was being saved for anyone special. I thought it was for everyone." He fessed up and admitted his mistake. Even though it's embarrassing, being honest is always better than lying or hiding the truth. Before we continue with more phrasal verbs, I want to ask you a quick favor. If you're finding this lesson helpful and you're learning a lot, please hit that like button right now. It really helps our channel grow, and it lets me know that you want more lessons like this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to click that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We upload new videos every single day to help you improve your English, so you don't want to miss any of our lessons. Thank you so much for your support. Now, let's keep going with more phrasal verbs. Number 6, fess up to. This is very similar to fess up, but we use it when we want to be more specific about what someone is admitting. When you fess up to something, you're confessing to a particular action or mistake. The word to is followed by the specific thing you did wrong. This makes your confession more clear and direct. For example, your best friend has been acting weird around you for a few days. She's been avoiding eye contact and she seems uncomfortable. Finally, you ask her directly, "What's going on? Is something wrong?" She takes a deep breath and says, "Okay, I need to fess up to something. Last week when I borrowed your favorite sweater, I accidentally spilled coffee on it. I tried to wash it, but there's still a stain. I'm so sorry. I should have told you right away." She fessed up to ruining your sweater. She admitted the specific thing she did and apologized for it. Using to in this way helps make it clear exactly what someone is confessing. Here's another one. Imagine you're a student and you've been skipping your afternoon classes to hang out with your friends. You've been doing this for 2 weeks and you thought your parents didn't know. But one day, your mom sits you down and says she received a call from the school. You realize you're caught. Instead of making excuses or lying, you decide to be honest. You say, "Mom, I need to fess up to something. I've been skipping my last period class because I thought it wasn't important. I know that was wrong and I'm sorry." By fessing up to the specific behavior, you're taking responsibility and showing that you understand you made a mistake. This is a mature way to handle a difficult situation. Number 7, fiddle about. This phrasal verb means to waste time doing small, unimportant things instead of focusing on what you should really be doing. When someone is fiddling about, they're being a bit lazy or distracted. They might be touching things, moving things around, or doing little tasks that don't really matter. It's a gentle way of saying someone is not being productive. For example, you ask your teenage son to clean his bedroom because guests are coming over in 2 hours. He goes upstairs and you think he's cleaning. But when you check on him 30 minutes later, his room is still messy. He's sitting on his bed looking at his baseball card collection, reorganizing his bookshelf and playing with his dog. You say, "Stop fiddling about and start actually cleaning your room. Our guests will be here soon and you haven't done anything yet." In this situation, fiddle about means he's wasting time with unimportant activities instead of doing the real work he's supposed to do. Here's another one. Let's say you're getting ready to leave for an important doctor's appointment. Your appointment is at 10 o'clock and it's already 9:30. You need to leave the house right now to get there on time. But your husband is still in the kitchen, slowly making another cup of coffee, checking his phone, and looking for something in the drawer. You say, "Honey, stop fiddling about. We need to leave right now or we'll be late." He's not doing anything really important. He's just moving slowly and not focusing on the fact that you need to go. Fiddle about is a casual and not too harsh way to tell someone to stop wasting time. Number 8, fiddle around. This means almost the same thing as fiddle about. It means to waste time or to play with something in a careless way without any real purpose. Americans use fiddle around and fiddle about interchangeably, so don't worry too much about the difference. When you're fiddling around, you're not being serious or focused. You might be touching things, adjusting things, or trying to fix something without really knowing what you're doing. For example, your computer is running very slowly and you're getting frustrated. Your husband says, "Let me try to fix it." He sits down at your computer and starts clicking on different settings, opening and closing programs, and changing things without really understanding what he's doing. After 20 minutes, the computer is running even worse than before. You say, "Maybe we should just call a professional. You've been fiddling around with it for too long and now it's worse." Fiddle around here means he's been playing with the computer settings without the proper knowledge, and he's not actually helping. He's just randomly trying things. Here's another one. Imagine your daughter has a science project due tomorrow and she hasn't started it yet. It's already 7 o'clock in the evening. You walk into her room and she's sitting at her desk, but she's not working on her project. She's doodling in her notebook, organizing her colored pencils, and texting her friends. You say, "Stop fiddling around and start your science project. You don't have much time left." She's wasting time with unimportant activities when she should be focused on her homework. Fiddle around is a really useful phrasal verb for describing this kind of unproductive behavior. Number 9, fiddle away. This phrasal verb has a slightly different meaning from the other fiddle verbs. Fiddle away means to waste time or to waste something valuable, like time or money, by not using it wisely. When you fiddle away your time, you're letting it pass without doing anything important or meaningful. When you fiddle away money, you're spending it on small, unnecessary things until it's all gone. For example, you had plans to use your weekend to finally organize your garage. You wanted to sort through all the boxes, throw away things you don't need, and make everything neat and tidy. But on Saturday, you slept late, watched TV for a few hours, scrolled through social media, and just relaxed. On Sunday, you did the same thing. By Sunday evening, you realize the weekend is over and you didn't organize the garage at all. Your wife says, "You just fiddled away the entire weekend doing nothing. Now you'll have to organize the garage next month. You wasted your time. You didn't use those 2 valuable days in a productive way." Here's another one. Let's say you receive a bonus check from work for $1,000. You're really excited because you've been wanting to save money for a family vacation. But instead of putting the money in your savings account, you spend $20 here, $30 there. You buy coffee every day, you get takeout food several times, you buy a few things online that you don't really need. Before you know it, 2 months have passed and all the money is gone. You have nothing saved for your vacation. You fiddled away your bonus money. You spent it on small, unimportant things until there was nothing left. This phrasal verb helps us talk about wasting valuable resources. And that brings us to our final phrasal verb for today. Number 10, we're going to learn one more way to use the word fess up because it's such a common and useful expression in American English. We already learned fess up and fess up to, and both of these mean to admit something or confess the truth. Native speakers use these phrases all the time in casual conversation, especially when someone needs to be honest about a mistake or something they did wrong. So it's really worth practicing these until they feel natural to you. Just to review quickly, remember that fess up means to admit or confess in general, and fess up to means to confess to a specific thing. For example, if someone asks, "Who broke the window?" and you say, okay, I'll fess up it was me," you're admitting guilt. And if you say, "I need to fess up to breaking the window," you're being specific about what you did. Both are correct and both are very common in everyday American conversation. The more you hear these phrases and practice using them, the more confident you'll become. So let me give you 2 more examples to really make sure you understand how flexible and useful this phrasal verb is. For example, you're in college and you have a roommate. You've noticed that your snacks keep disappearing from the kitchen. Every time you buy cookies or chips, they're gone within a day or 2, and you know you didn't eat them. You're pretty sure your roommate is eating them, but you're not certain. One day, you buy a bag of your favorite chocolate chip cookies and you write your name on the bag before putting it in the cupboard. The next day, half the cookies are gone. You confront your roommate and say, "I know you've been eating my food. Please fess up." Your roommate looks embarrassed and finally admits, "You're right, I'm sorry. I've been eating your snacks because I've been too lazy to go grocery shopping. I'll buy you new ones and I won't do it again." Your roommate fessed up and admitted the truth after you asked directly. Here's another one. Imagine you work in an office and someone has been leaving dirty dishes in the break room sink. Every day, there are coffee cups, plates, and spoons piled up, and nobody knows who's doing it. It's becoming a problem because the kitchen is messy and it's starting to smell bad. Finally, your manager sends an email to everyone saying, "Whoever is leaving dirty dishes in the sink needs to fess up and start cleaning up after themselves." This is a shared space and we all need to be respectful. A few hours later, one of your coworkers replies to the email saying, "It was me, I'm sorry. I've been really busy and I kept forgetting to wash my dishes. I'll make sure to clean up from now on." That person fessed up in front of everyone. Even though it was embarrassing, they did the right thing by being honest and taking responsibility. So there you have it. We've covered 10 really useful phrasal verbs today. Let's do a quick review. We learned fight back, which means to defend yourself. Fight it out, which means to argue or compete until there's a winner or a decision. Fight off, which means to resist or defend against something attacking you. Ferret out, which means to search for and discover hidden information. Fess up, which means to admit or confess. Fess up to, which means to confess to a specific thing. Fiddle about, which means to waste time doing unimportant things. Fiddle around, which also means to waste time or play with something carelessly. And fiddle away, which means to waste something valuable like time or money. I really hope this lesson was helpful for you. Remember, the best way to learn these phrasal verbs is to practice using them in your own sentences. Try to use at least one or two of these in your conversations this week. Maybe you can write some example sentences in the comments below. I'd love to see how you use these phrasal verbs. And don't forget, we upload new videos every single day, so make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a lesson. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep practicing and keep learning. You're doing an amazing job with your English. Bye for now.